squad, but right now, as it stands, he's taking it in the minor leagues in a sense. He's working his way back up again. You might consider it a rehab stint if you are familiar with like baseball, assigned to AA to AAA. And that's kind of what he's doing right now, or to the AHL if you're a hockey guy. So Stan's trying to make his way into the game, and well, we're going to make our way to the game as well. It's EG, it's Gaimin Gladiators on Inferno. It is map number 1 of this best of 3. And the winner makes it into the final against ATK, who will be watching and awaiting their opponent to find out who they got to play for that ticket down under. Jeorge out towards Banana. He loves this area of the map, whether it's CT or T side, and he's already taken a name, ringing a bell. And that's Carson, a very heavy hitter for the Gaimin Gladiators to hit the deck first. Not the kind of guy you want to lose early. That nade does so much damage to Jeorge and bwills as well. Luckily, Stanislaw was down towards bottom ramp, or he was going to die to that HE. But Gaimin Gladiators taking a lot of damage at EG. Yeah, Viz is low. Jeorge's at half HP. But they've done their job early, making things easy to finish off this pistol round, which is where they really struggled all of yesterday, going 1 for 8.
Gaimin Gladiators slowing the pace significantly now. We're thinking about going towards Banana, but some heavy control doled out by EG means that they have to try their luck towards A, or could be a pincer attack. We'll see. DJ heard the flashbang, gets the insta headshot onto bwills. And now Cynic is kind of isolated here as his teammate has rotated around that Stanislaw to support Jeorge's push onto the site. Cynic just trying to slip in, and he does. Now he's made his way into CT, and one frag here could be the difference maker for a push onto this B site for the Gaimin Gladiators. They are going to move in here. Viz and Bentley both stacked up over at New Box, and they toss a smoke to try and guise off vision from Jeorge, but he tries to use it to plant the bomb, and that won't happen. Viz denies him, and Stanislaw manages to strike back, but time is ticking away, and they also need to get so many frags. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, time's out. HP's running out. Cynics get one. They don't need to peek him, but they go together, so that is forgivable. They go as a 3-piece, all 3 players swinging at the same time, not lining up. They wanted to get that kill, not let Cynic stay alive. And that's good for the confidence for EG. They win the first pistol round of this series, already off to a much better start than yesterday. And the other thing, too, is like if you win if you lose the pistol round, but you win the force spy that second round, it's a bit of a wash, if not a bit more of an advantage for you. But EG didn't win any of those force spies, those second rounds either yesterday. So a very good response to yesterday's outing. And this is what you want to see from this team with this kind of infrastructure behind it, making those adjustments when they have the time. Even though it's a short timetable, they're still doing it. That should be a decent... And actually, no, it doesn't go out the window. Probably that one does, though. Look at bwills and Carson down just about the 40 HP mark. Jeorge to 61. And that's more utility damage dealt by EG, this time out towards alt mid. And they're starting to take banana control, too, slowly pushing forward. Of course, it's Jeorge being the spearhead. But Viz, while blinded, takes a tap. Jeorge is gone. PwnAlone will spray away, doing a lot of damage, getting a kill, but getting run over, that's not going to be the best for his opping chances. And an MP9 picked up for Cynic, still not much. Gaimin Gladiators down brackets. Jeorge going down, though, is a bit more expensive. 2 kills on the Glocks is not bad.
Yeah, a couple of kills, like you said, no investment from the Gaimin Gladiators, pretty much at all. And they get a couple of kills off it, so make it expensive for EG. We'll have to reinvest a little bit into this round, so not as much of a bonus round coming through for them, but we'll see if that phases them at all, because they do have that early start that they just really could not find in any of their series that they played last night, so maybe that'll make them a little more comfortable. As definitely the utility has been good for them in the early goings. 3 players going to rotate around to the B site. Gaimin Gladiators going to have 4 AKs and the Galil, and they're going to go for that utility battle towards Banana. Just going to throw a smoke into the Molotov for the time being, as everyone appears more poised to go towards this A site. And something that I did notice in terms of stats when Stanislaw started the team versus, I should say Stanislaw taking care of IGL versus Cynic, is that, of course, Stan is the one tossing more of the flashbangs out. I think he averaged 0.98 flashes thrown throughout this close qualifier here, averages 0.13 flash assists per round, and has, well, a lot of flash time. For each flash thrown, almost 1 second per flash. That's excellent on his side. So we'll see if that comes through.
That's really good efficiency. Not quite Ben Leet levels of efficiency, but it's still very, very good. That's great nade damage, though, as Gaimin Gladiators try to bait out the utility towards B. They did a good job of it, but they still got damaged. And actually, EG burned through all of their utility aside from one lonely Molotov. And there's still 43 seconds on the clock. They have no utility to stop a take, no utility for a retake. It's all going to rely on the firepower now as they're trying to convert the bonus. The rotation's been made, but Gaimin Gladiators have baited back towards the B site as they're going the other direction, out towards A. Jeorge is up towards Boiler, making sure Apartments is clear. That's a well-timed Molotov, though, from PwnAlone. The last piece of utility, buying a little more time, going to really force this take to be very late. And there's a double up in Mini Pit, too. If they plant open in that default area, this might go against the Gaimin Gladiators. Viz behind that smoke. PwnAlone spots one on top of the Moto. Long range of the MP9, not exactly the best of duels. Viz gets a free one, but traded back nicely. PwnAlone down for free. 4v3 hold. Bomb goes down. This A-site retake with this HP. There's no way they stick around too long unless Ben gets an opening. He's not even probing for that, and he's just looking for an exit. They're already out of here. Gaimin Gladiators striking back early.
Wow, that was a solid execute coming through from the Gaimin Gladiators. All their smokes, flashes, coordinated perfectly, and they charged into sight. Even though there were two EG players playing in pit and mini pit, it just didn't matter. They were able to isolate them. Ben's going to get a consolation prize here, maybe a second one on the Stanislaw, and yes, indeed, but still, the Gaimin Gladiators are going to be happy with the result here as they get their first on the board. Are they far enough away? No, they're not. The bomb damage radius was increased, guys, so you got to plant a little further back in the bomb site to avoid that. Either way, they do get their first round, even though they lose all their players, and it will be expensive. Another thing I wanted to mention here, Austin, I'm not sure we're going to see it on the T side for the Gaimin Gladiators, but since Stanislaw joined the squad, Cynic has just fully embraced the AWP. He has used it 60.3% of the time, which is a very stark contrast to how Gaimin Gladiators were using it in the ECL playoffs. In fact, only 19.75% of frags came from the AWP in Cynic's hands, and no one else was really getting off frags either. It was just full-on rifling.
Yeah, Cynic's a very good rifler. He's also a solid opper, so it's not like Gaimin Gladiators need the op in hand. It does make a very big difference, though, especially on the CT side. So seeing him really embracing the op is a big boost to this Gaimin Gladiators squad, which has shown some very good potential. So we'll see if they're going to be able to build off of that. But like you said, probably not going to see it on the T side of Inferno in particular. Mirage is not more likely, but Carson just trying to dry peek into a couple of players. Doesn't know there's two there, even if there's one. Not a favorable duel with the MAC-10, but he's got to try and get some space somewhere. And opening pick goes the way of EG, minimizing damage too while maximizing the damage expended onto their opponents. Utility standard tanks going out towards the A side, though, from Gaimin Gladiators. DJ still towards balcony as well. Is close and personal with a 5-7 on site. Should be a solid A-hold, especially if PwnAlone spots the foot or something around the smoke. Jeorge and PwnAlone waiting for the fade, waiting for the opening, waiting for the pick. It's going to come down to who hits that shot first. PwnAlone as the smoke goes. Remember, folks, smokes are client side. Somebody could have a different angle, but Pwn's retreated. Jeorge is ready, but he swaps to winning at the wrong moment, and PwnAlone's just going to back away towards Arches. Free second pick. It's a 5v3.
Yeah, those saved rifles really helping out EG in this round, especially considering that Gaimin Gladiators lost every single one in the previous round. Jeorge is going to spray down bwills through the smoke, and Stanislaw's managed to go around from Moto and sneak in here. That leaves Viz very isolated, but they don't clear him, and Stan's going to get taken down. Viz has a chance to clutch this one out with just the 5-7 in his hands, and they can't connect. Cynic whiffing finally pulls out the Glock to deal the finishing blow, but this has given EG time to rotate around, and that will mean Cynic falls. Oh, a window of opportunity there for the Gaimin Gladiators to try and find something, but denied because they couldn't hit their shots, and they didn't clear the site.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, they've been hitting the site so late the last couple of rounds where it's really making things almost impossible to clear the full site before you're forced to plant the bomb. Also, questionable rotation by PwnAlone. There was a little bit of noise out towards B, but with that pick towards A and all of Arches under your control, there's no reason to run completely away. Maybe back away towards the Spigot and Speedway. Try and take a deeper angle, a quicker rotation to B. But giving up Arches almost made that round incredibly dangerous. It made it expensive at the very least. And he also ended up picking up a Galil out of that instead of an AK. So I don't think he's too happy about that. Great nade damage again from EG. This time nading in towards T-Stair. PwnAlone just going to bait for DJ to swing out through Apartments, long haul style. He'll drop the bomb, but get dropped himself. Still 2 kills for the price of 1. Not terrible. But now they have to really minimize losing players. B was the backstab. Now PwnAlone's ready for it. And EG should be able to 4-1 lead here. Just, again, don't lose too many players. Your money is terrible.
Oh, hell, They're not listening. Well, there you go. Okay, Pwn does manage to control things here. Stanislaw will get taken down, and 3 players survive, so that will help the money a little bit, and also isolate that round victory on the side of the Gaimin Gladiators. The thing is, with the loss bonus and the saved AK, they're probably just going to force into this round, and it appears as though that is exactly what will happen. They might even get a decent buy-up. Yeah, more than decent. 4 AKs, and the Galil will come through along with more than half the usual utility. So Gaimin Gladiators very much another opportunity to get themselves on the board here, but EG, they got the 4 A1S and the AK, excuse me. The only thing missing is the AWP. Carson going to get naded down to 62 here. Jeorge trying to sneak his way into the apartments. He's got reinforcements by his side. We'll see if they can gain a little bit of space. The utility's been very solid so far for EG, so Gaimin Gladiators very wary of that fact.
They're wary. They're looking for an opening pick. That's something that they haven't really been able to get too easily, if at all, is that opening pick. EG playing very disciplined, doing their nade damage, playing their due diligence, relying on their default strategy. PwnAlone and DJ combined for a 3-piece, as Viz was kind of the bait there. Does get taken down on top of Porch, but 3 for the price of 1. That is efficiency right there for Evil Geniuses, playing with their teammates and putting trust in their teammates to get those kills. Never easy being the Viz in that situation, but as long as your teammates get the kills, it's all worth it for you. And Jeorge spots the leg cross of bwills, spams him through the smoke, goes back for more, drops the molly behind that smoke, and Carson now isolated alone on Banana. Nowhere for him to really go. He has to try and clutch this up, and he's a good individual player, but getting tagged through the smoke, harassed by Jeorge, is not going to make his life any easier. No tracers either. John's just going to crab walk around, continue to spray, and I like how EG aren't aggressing out of the situation. This is something they would do yesterday a lot, is even if their money wasn't good. Alright, I take that back.
We'll see what happens here. Carson is going to get a second. He could clutch this one out. Now the bomb going to get planted. A 4v1 to a 1v2. And Carson very much in a position to take this. AK locked and loaded. DJ's coming from Banana. And you have Pwn pinching in from CT, but no one's going to go to Coffins. Carson, a chance to get a jump on DJ, and he finds him! 1v1 now, the 4K clutch! It comes through! Carson pulls the round back out of nothing! And the Gaimin Gladiators get a second. That is just catastrophic for EG. And it's just the same as what was happening yesterday, Austin. They couldn't hang on to their man advantages. I think this one is the worst that we've seen, honestly, even including all of the maps we saw yesterday. Oh, boy. Yeah. Great play from Carson, though.
Oh, yeah, Carson, you give Carson 1v1s, he will punish you, as evidenced right there. He's a very good individual aimer. He's a very good individual player. It was a shock those were his first 4 kills of the game to me. I would have expected him to have a much harder start. But what a way to enter it. Gaimin Gladiators call a timeout to let Carson scream it out, as I'm sure he was busting some eardrums in the team speak. But in all seriousness, EG were playing it right up until the cross when the smoke faded. Because if you play the 1v2 on the site, if you play for the bait and switch, Carson doesn't get the isolated 1v1 duels.
I mean, just put 2 on each site. It's as simple as that. You don't have to be aggressive. You have a huge advantage. And even if he wins a 2v1 going on for the B site, at least that's better than giving him, I think, 4 1v1s technically.
It was 4 1v1s, and PwnAlone ended up flashing himself on Coffins, which made it all the worse.
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, EG are going to force up here, and spamming to the smoke and connecting is Jeorge. He's got a chance to get a second here. They haven't spotted him out yet, and there it is. Jeorge maybe trying to make up for the mistakes of the previous round. Another smoke going to get thrown here. Carson should catch him off, and he does. But still, the man advantage gained for EG. Guns not recoverable, but they'll need some reinforcements towards this B site. Wow. Okay. Very fast and furious start to this one.
Yeah, 5'7" armored Jeorge pushing down Banana. That is basically peak Jeorge, classic Jeorge right there. Push Banana, CT, T-side, doesn't matter. And he makes him pay for it. Gets the 5'7" spam, picks up the MAC-10, gets a bit of a lucky kill as the mailbox pre-fire didn't work. And now Gaimin Gladiators are trying to play from down a man. Yeah, they have the firepower advantage, but pistols close range on a map like Inferno, very dangerous in all situations. And if they don't clear Ben out properly, he's gonna kill. He's got a dink and a lot of damage. This is making Viz's job a lot more easy. He's the player without armor, but Jeorge gets the kill onto DJ lurking around. The bomb, however, has been spotted on B, and time is getting a little bit lower, 25 on the clock. Bomb does have to go down. Viz and PwnAlone now grouping up. Carson playing from dark. Spots the swing, spots the cross, but Viz is almost taking him down. The spray goes wild, and PwnAlone finishes off Jeorge the 1D. EG strike back on the force up, and they make Gaimin Gladiators pay. They rectify their mistake, and that's what you got to do sometimes, you know? You give them a round, and then you got to take one away, knock them back down to earth, and get back in the win column. It's not going to be a pretty buy again from Evil Geniuses, but they'll have a buy up nonetheless. Gaimin Gladiators not going to have too much in terms of economy, half by the best they could hope for. And timeout being called from EG now to settle things down and make sure they don't get wild.
That's a mulligan for EG at this point, right? You know, you got another chance. You made a mistake in that one round, lost the 1v4. You win the subsequent force buy, and I think Jonji was guilty of peeking a little bit too far in that 1v4 and I think was the first casualty. But either way, he pushes up, makes up for it in spades by finding the 2K pushing down Banana. And there you go. It kicked off everything for EG, who were able to win that 2v2. And now they've got that 3-round lead back under their belts, and the economy will not be good enough for the Gaimin Gladiators to buy up here.
Yeah, they're gonna get a couple. They're gonna get a deagle and a couple of pieces of utility, double flashes and a smoke. No armor. Not a round that could probably hope to win, but if they can get a couple of kills, that will work out well within the economy of EG, which has not been able to be established despite their 5-2 lead. Molotovs, again, the good utility being used from Evil Geniuses. That's something that has been consistent so far this game, as their CT Inferno utility has been on point. Nade goes down to the stairs, doesn't do any damage, and the spam towards Banana finds nothing as well. Jonji and Ben. This time it's Ben getting very aggressive, hiding in mailbox, but Gaimin Gladiators want nothing to do with the B site. They're going up towards A instead, all grouping up for that bracket mid-take. Flashes going through, one still remaining, and a smoke as well. In towards PwnAlone, who's got the M4 in hand, but 4 Glocks, not something you really want to swing into. Takes a 1v1, but now they know they're going in towards CT spawn. Cynic knows where PwnAlone is. He gets the reload in the nick of time, sprays away wildly, one, not the second. Has 2 on the round, but now an M4 picked up for bwills this time. Into the spray of Jonji, though, who's holding the angle, playing it very far back. Well disciplined this time from Jonji, not wanting to repeat that mistake of the Carson 1v4. Stanislaw catches Ben going aggro, though, but the bomb's at Jonji's feet, and this should be a round for EG.
I mean, we'll see. Stanislaw has an MP9, and okay, it's gone. No 1v3 clutch for Stanislaw. Obviously, the conditions far less ideal than when Carson pulled it off, but EG do get their 6th. It is a little bit messy, and still there are those problems against pistols that keep resurfacing here for EG. They've lost 4 players. I think Glocks, pretty much only Glocks, twice. So it's very strange. Very strange indeed, but at least they're getting the round victories this time, and they had a bit of a cushion built up off of their pistol round victory. AKs across the board for the Gaimin Gladiators. Evil Geniuses, 3 A1Ss, the AK, and the FAMAS. And now Molotov going to fly to the feet of Stanislaw. He's immediately going to defuse that with his smoke grenade. Now charging on forward, waiting for the Molotov of his teammate to dissipate now, as Gaimin Gladiators will take the early control of Banana, and there isn't much of a defense here for EG, only Ben lead. And as a result, the IGL calls for Jonji to come back on over here and try and retake some space towards Banana, potentially. Good nade toss. Stanislaw goes down to 40. And now the Gaimin Gladiators, will they be deterred, or are they just going to go for the hit here?
I think they're going to group up and go for it. They don't have much utility left, and they don't really have the A site utility. They have more information control towards B. So they're probably going to take the gamble and go in. They're ready for the CT smoke. Carson's going to hold on to his unless he tosses it back. Molotov prepped. A lot of times they don't need to commit, but they can't really afford to waste any utility on this take. Yeah, coffin smoke from the looks of things, and Flashbang prep, PwnAlone's reading it too. No presence towards A. He's going to start edging over. Front sight smoke thrown. Molotov is well countered by EG, but it's extinguished by Carson. But there's a gap towards CT spawn. That's where PwnAlone can spray down a pair. There's still two on side as well. Ben on the fountain, though, put down to swim with the fishes. Jeorge around U-Box, not cleared by Stanislaw, who was low thanks to his own nade. Jeorge swings out wide, though, not expecting them both on site. 2v2 situation with the plant coming down back fountain. Viz with the HE primed and ready, tosses that forward, but it goes way too shallow. And Cynic in a good position towards ruins to ruin the chances of evil geniuses around the door. And they know they have to clear it, but Viz will get taken down first. DJ will trade it back. Smoke in hand, no flash, no nade, no Molotov to flush. bwills out of position, but he's been spotted. They know where he is now. DJ with the nade. He's picked up, swaps to it, and gets a shot through the brain bucket. 3 rounds now for Gaimin Gladiators, as they get a bit lucky on that one. But the same recurring problem for evil geniuses arises this time with the economy, as they lose so many players even in the rounds they're winning. They're on another eco. They're going to force up here. A FAMAS, a Deagle, a 5-7. PwnAlone's mag 7. Wait. Can we get a PwnAlone mag 7 cam? He's always good for at least one with this gun on this map on CT side. He's always good for a kill.
I mean, look, he's playing a little bit of a different position than he usually goes for. He's typically at the half wall towards Banana, but this time he is deciding to support his teammates over in Boiler. Jeorge with the AK in hand. He's going to be waiting for the opportunity to push up here, and PwnAlone, as mentioned, with two of his teammates, I should say, holding their ground for the time being. But it looks like Gaimin are interested in hitting that B site, and you can't really blame them. Even though they've been thwarted a couple of times, they've found most of their success going for this site and taken down EG in the gunfights. And looks like they're going to head there one more time as the bomb gets grabbed. It's on the flank. Viz takes down Jeorge, and that might speed things up for the Gaimin Gladiators, who are looking to head on to the bomb site. Now Jeorge creeping through the smoke, needs to be careful, and now he's going to run right through it. This is a really good play, in fact, because they don't spot him out. He gets 1, 2, no third, and now it is going to be a 2v2 thanks to Stanislaw's heroics in getting 2 with the MAC-10. Cynic going to plant this bomb down to dirt. bwills waiting for a chance to peer around here, maybe spot out DJ, and he does. There's the man advantage for the Gaimin Gladiators. I think they have Viz isolated here, as he's only got the MP9 in his hands, and there aren't really many upgrades on the ground for him to work with. Just SMGs and a FAMAS, which he would not like to use. Decoy comes out there for Gaimin Gladiators. And Viz going to come around this corner, likely to a doom. And no, he does get the headshot. Upgrades to the AK. No kit, though, and it's over.
Yeah, they didn't buy a kit. Understandable considering their money. Cynic's maybe going down to the bomb here. We'll see if we can get far enough away.
He should be able to.
Just barely.
Close.
Yeah, with that bomb damage change, there's almost no safe spot on Inferno if you take damage. You got to book it out. And good damage for evil geniuses, but this now is going to bring Gaimin Gladiators within a hair's breadth of tying this up. This should be a 5th on the board for them. EG with the saved AK in the hands of Viz. A couple of pistols, not around that can really expect to win. Just, again, get some damage done, thin the economy out.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think EG need to reinforce the B site a little bit more, because it's been abused time and time again. They keep getting caught out. Finally have 3 players here, but the thing is just a pistol round.
I think a problem is that PwnAlone hasn't had an op yet, and we're playing round number 11.
Yeah.
That's a big issue, because you can have PwnAlone go for the early peek out towards middle if he sees nobody rotate to B. Or he can go for B towards B, get the shot, fall away, so they still think there's 3 people here. Viz, though, they do know there's 3 people here now, as they've taken damage and done damage to all 3. But Jeorge has a lot of control. Does he expect to be up on balcony? No, there's no way, and he's going to get blindsided. That's just the MAC-10, but that's 2 kills for EG. Viz is still over towards B, but Jeorge peeks out, hits another 1 dig. He's going to look for a second kill. DJ backing out of balcony, has to drop away. A lot of damage being taken by the evil geniuses, but they're doing more. DJ swings, gets taken down. Spray going back and forth, but Ben's up on person, and he's going to shut down Stan with a Mac. Jeorge with the deagle. It's a minimal investment hero AK round that works for EG. Double deagles for Jeorge, and evil geniuses, whatever it seems that they've had around, slipped through their fingers that they probably should have won. They're able to answer it back with the pistols. And that's a great sign for them. For Gaimin Gladiators, that's a big issue. They need to find a way to beat the Eco, to beat the Force Spy. And they've not been able to do that consistently. They beat it once, and that was one guy surviving, Cynic. So
maybe taking a page out of Team 1's book, perhaps? We're very effective with those pistols against EG yesterday, but this time it's EG doling out the pistol damage. Like you said, very minimal investment, and look at the rewards that they have reaped because of it. 3 AKs saved over from that previous round. Only needed to buy up a couple of rifles in those A1Ss. So well done for EG, but they will have to face off against the Force Spy from the Gaimin Gladiators now. The MAC-10, the 3 Tech 9s, and the AK. Typically see a little bit of a quicker play with this type of loadout, but the Gaimin Gladiators, realizing that maybe that AK can support them a little bit, they're just going to pump on the brakes for a moment. See what they can spot out here with perhaps some peeks around towards Arch side. Here comes the utility, tossed on forward. Not committing to the take just yet. Now it's going to come through, and yeah, they've moved their way into bracket. Carson peeking around the corner. Stanislaw will be taking first contact here unless Jeorge comes out of those apartments. Viz going to toss a good flashbang, but it's not going to blind many people. Actually, no, it does a very good job, in fact, of blinding quite a few. Or maybe that was just Cynic's flash that was thrown on the other end. Not sure, but it helps the evil geniuses regardless. Jeorge gets 2. DJ drops Stanislaw, and only bwills left to burn to an itty-bitty crisp. Ben Lee finds that, and EG will take this half one way or another with those 8 rounds on the board.
Jonji's been a menace the last 2 rounds from the graveyard stair
Yeah.
area. That's a position usually like a one and done. And he's been able to get 2, helped out for that 3rd in that last round too. Didn't matter if he was low HP or not. He's playing that position very well. And he's usually a B player too, so it's interesting to see him moving around the map a little bit more. It's good to see that kind of fluidity, and there we go. They're bolstering the B site early on here, John. They're expecting Gaimin Gladiators to go to that B site after a lack of success trialing towards A, but where are the Gladiators heading with the Glocks? They're going in towards that alt-mid brackets play. PwnAlone misses the nade. He's going to have to run away. The flashbang was great, and he is going to pay. DJ sprays down 2, but he's knocked down a peg. And it's a 3v3 with a couple of AKs picked up for the Gaimin Gladiators. No armor, but this is still a dangerous round. Look at EG, they're panicking. They're all in CT spawn. They don't know what's going on. They've abandoned B. They're playing the group. They're playing the numbers game. But Gaimin Gladiators have slowed things down. They've calmed things down. And this goes to show the veteran leadership of Stanislaw. I think previously, Gaimin Gladiators would have just spurred onto A. They would have just got that bomb down and played for the post. And now they're picking them off one by one by one. Now it's a man advantage, another gun upgrade for Gaimin Gladiators potentially if they want it. And they're not going to go back towards A. They're going to wait. They got time. They are stalking their prey right now. They are laying the trap. They are the predator.
I mean, it's just Glocks again. It's, I think, 6 Glock frags coming through from the Gaimin Gladiators. This is a nice play from Viz. He's sneaking up on the flank. No one's really watching it. Gaimin Gladiators got tunnel vision towards B. Viz could get one for free, but he wants to play this advantage a little bit further. I'm not sure if that was necessarily the right play, but now he's got Ben Leap by his side, so we'll see how this goes. If they can get there before the bomb is planted, surely they'll have an opportunity to take them down. They have to take down Carson now, and they will. There's the second. Well played from Viz. The trigger discipline pays off for a 3K, and EG pull that one back. It looked scary, though, Austin, but they at least managed to get the round.
They do manage to get the round. It costs them a lot, but it's luckily for them they saved 3 AKs from the round prior, so they're still good economically. Gaimin Gladiators, though, probably going to look for at least 5 rounds, if they cannot get 6. Because 11-4 on your own map pick is not a good way to start. And EG have definitely shown up to play. Yeah, they've had some curious rounds, the last one notwithstanding. But for the most part, they have made up for their mistakes by winning the following round. They've been very good at not letting Gaimin Gladiators string rounds together. I don't know if Gaimin Gladiators have won more than 2 rounds in a row. The other 2 have been isolated. There's some good flashbangs for Jeorge to peek off of. Upgrades to the AK, spams away and sprays another. John's having fun now towards Banana. You know the vibes are good in the EG camp when they're doing that. Now PwnAlone up on top of the half wall, taking shots with the op, falling away, doesn't want to get caught out, doesn't want to lose that. But he's still going to play hyper aggressive with it, peeking around, soloing the B's site as the bomb's going out towards A. But Stanislaw will not be able to join his crew. He'll be relegated to calling the shots from behind, a bit like an AWAC. Jeorge does spray down Ben blind. The nade's going to do some damage though onto him as DJ out. Jeorge, though, pulls it
There
back
we
to a
go.
1v2. But Gaimin Gladiators unable to finish it off. It's EG again, scraping by with a victory. And now they have the cash to buy up on the last round. And what do Gaimin Gladiators have? Tech 9s, a Galil, maybe 2 or 3 Galils. It's not pretty. It's not good. And 11-4 would be amazing for the Evil Geniuses.
And it's good to see EG playing the man advantage appropriately there, right? You have a player who peeks out, goes for the frag, and he does get dropped, but there's an immediate trade that comes through. There's a player right around that corner to peek out and make sure that nothing further can happen, and they secure double digits as a result. Timeout going to be called here by the Gaimin Gladiators to talk things over and just try and understand where things have gone wrong in this first half and try to at least win one more and build a little bit of momentum going to that second half of action.
Yeah, they need some momentum. The most momentum they got was a Carson 1v4, but they lost the round afterward.
Yeah.
How many times have they lost to a half buy or a force buy too? At least 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times for sure.
Yeah, and that would have
been,
completely changed the scope of the game.
Yeah, no, it's a little rough around the edges for the Gaimin Gladiators, and EG learning from their mistakes of yesterday. PwnAlone going to go for the early peek here towards Banana. One thing that's been going really well for them is Jeorge. You know, he's a player that you really do want to have clicking if you're on EG because he does so much damage, and this aggressive style of play often can yield so many rewards. And he goes down Banana again. It's been his home turf, and he finds himself an opening frag onto Carson. Gaimin Gladiators a little limited in terms of economy coming into this one, having to settle for a Tech 9 and bwills and a Mac 10 for Cynic, not to mention no AKs are available to them here. Oh, look where Benleet's already gotten to. He's up to Arch. I think he realizes that someone's here. He has an inkling. Are they bumping into each other? They are. And it's going to be Cynic to get the frag. He survives with 8 HP, but there is the A1S upgrade that won't last long. Jeorge's already pushed up and managed to take down Cynic.
And you got the DJ Viz combo out towards Big and Mini Pit. Viz around the smokes. Gets a warning shot across the bow from bwills, but he's still going to hold the line, not going to be denied. Stan trying to peek from Moto is finished off by DJ. Molotov to buy more time. The swing comes in, and it's DJ to get the second to last. Jeorge trying to 1v4 it. Carson could do it. Maybe he can too. But this time, I don't think EG are going to give him the 1v1s. They're going to play buddy system. They're going to play their angles. PwnAlone might peek in. No, he's just going to hold. He's going to crouch with that op and wait for Jeorge to peek into him. Jeorge won't even get around the corner. It's a shutdown half from from Evil Geniuses as the Gaimin Gladiators struggle to put up 4. We'll be back for half number 2 in just a moment.
me a sign. You are always on my mind. Always on my mind.
Well, EG definitely had a good half. They will be very happy with their performance. And now it's time to see if they can do it again, if they can shut down the Gaimin Gladiators on their map pick and move into Mirage, the pick of the Evil Geniuses with a one-map lead. Looking to get some revenge on ATK in the final. I'm Boggs, joined by JRT. J-Raz doing the observing, doing a fantastic job at that, I'd like to add. And Gaimin Gladiators have a 9 must-win pistol here. They can't really afford to lose it, and that's a good start by Jeorge. Pushing down Banana, getting aggressive, and popping the brain of Ben. bwills with the Molotov out, drops that, and Jeorge will not push through the fire and the flames. He'll be warded off for now. But EG have made their presence known towards A. With a lot of time, they can double it back. They can go towards the B site, but they're going to commit towards A. And the rotation's already on their way. The push is in towards site. Cynic tapping away. Stanislaus there. They're all blind. Everybody's white. And it's going to be kills going back and forth both ways. Cynic is now being reinforced by Carson. But PwnAlone brings it to a 1v2 from a 1v3. With a minute on the clock. Doesn't have the bomb. But he's upgraded to a USP, and he can move around the site. They know where he is, but there's still potential to isolate 1v1 duels, especially if he's able to swing out onto the player towards Arches. That's Carson, who's not really peeking out now. PwnAlone has to be very careful not to get blindsided. He spots out one, but now they know where he is. He knows where both are, though. That is a huge boost. He's going to stick that bomb, at the very least get that extra cash, and wait for them to try and peek on in. Flashing in, knows where Carson is, but Carson wins the duel still. Bomb plan for EG means a 4-spy into this round. Still, necessary pistol round 1 for Gaimin Gladiators. If they can shut down the Galil buy of EG this next round, they'll have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, no, I think just a good play made by Pwn, right? You don't have that good of a chance of picking up the round. You realize, look, both sides are clear. Just tuck yourself into the bomb site, find a safe spot, and plant the bomb. Get the extra $800 in the bank account and make this next round viable with a proper buy-up, or almost proper buy-up. And that's exactly what happens. So, if you're going to lose a pistol round, that's certainly the way to do it. 11-5, still a lead for EG, and there are the 3 Galils and the 2 MAC-10s coming through, along with a good chunk of util. Over on the other side, I mean, Gaimin have 2 rifles, so technically a better buy-up come through for EG, and there you have it. Jeorge and PwnAlone open things up immediately on Carson, and bwills leaving Stanislaus stranded on an island by himself towards the B site, and having to wonder, do I call for reinforcements? Do I try to retake Banana control? Or do I just hold my ground at this B site? And it appears as though he is caught between those decisions and decides, you know what? I'm going to back off here, perhaps even reinforce and gamble on the A site. Still hanging around, though. And there's an incendiary tossed up before he backs off once more.
It's not a very good one, though. They can push around it if they really wanted to.
He just threw that to try and push them back and rotate to the A site.
He's trying to make sure he can get there safely without getting backstabbed, without giving up the site. But EG are playing it well. They're not going to over-aggress here. They're going to hold the line.
Oh, they
Wait,
bite?
They're going to go back? Yeah. Or are they thinking, hey, we've put so much pressure, they're going to stack here now? I think they're big-braining themselves. I think they don't realize that Gaimin Gladiators have said, you know what? We're going to hold A, and if they go B, it's an easier retake. That's the logic here for Gaimin Gladiators. A is a much harder retake than B. Walking with the trap. Jeorge taking the worst of that damage, though. The nade could do some. DJ down to 25.
Nice.
Jeorge at 59. Stand on sight. Mo's down. Actually, no, it's Cynic with 3. Jeorge with the 4th. Stanislaus with the last. It's a clean mop-up on the A site. And that is exactly what the Gaimin Gladiators wanted, to lure EG into a site which they have a much better chance of holding. All 3 players holding the line for each other. And EG walk in unawares that all 3 remaining Gaimin Gladiators are there, posted up and ready. They get into the meat grinder and get turned into sausage. Pretty round for the Gaimin Gladiators, not so much for EG after that great start towards Banana. Both picks they needed were already achieved. Now it's their turn to be on the pistols and a bit of a half buy.
That is just so disappointing for EG, right? And I mean, that Molotov didn't really matter where it landed. I think the purpose of it was to just try and convince EG that the stack was there. And it worked. great job by Stanislaw. Rotated around back to the A site. That's exactly where EG rotated to. And now you see the Gaimin Gladiators have a couple of Galils off the ground, the 3 A1Ss, and they're feeling pretty good about the way that round went. There's no question. EG, on the other hand, I mean, they could have poked and prodded a little bit more towards B, gotten some information, but instead they don't send anyone there. They full-on rotate into the trap at the A site that was immediately sprung, and Gaimin didn't even lose another player. Now Jeorge is going to get a 2K onto DJ and Jeonji, who tried to move into that A site. And, well, they have 2 players left standing after Viz gets dropped, but it appears as though the Gaimin Gladiators are hot on their tail. And I don't think they're long for this world. There is an open B site. Possibility for a plant if they hightail it. But I don't think,
Carson shouldn't be able to hear anything either.
Yeah. Winning the round's another question, but a bomb plant's very viable.
Bomb plant?
Uh-oh.
That's not bad. Carson should be in position to shut it down, though. He's making his way back. You might have even heard something, too. They're going to try and plant it. Depends where they do, if Carson's going to be able to get it before it goes down or not. He knows they're on site. It's a safe plant, though. They should be able to get the plant down at the very least. And that's kind of mission accomplished on this kind of a round. That's even just icing on the cake, finishing off Carson. So overall, not terrible for EG getting the bomb down. Be a bit of a boost to the economy. Helps out Jeonji in particular, who bought down to 1050. But Gaimin Gladiators close the gap to 4.
Yeah, I mean, they've been... Yeah, go ahead.
If EG aren't careful, they're going to let Gaimin Gladiators back into this game in a couple of rounds. They haven't been able to establish themselves here.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, at least EG are keeping their economy healthy with a couple of bomb plants. 2 of the 3 rounds, obviously, their buy-up was not ideal to start things out here in the second half, but now they have the proper rifles, the 4 AKs, and the big green coming through, which we haven't really seen much of on either side so far on Inferno, because Gaimin Gladiators chose to run with the rifles for the most part and didn't bring out the sniper rifles. So we'll see what Pwn has in mind here, as he's just going to set up some utility for his teammates, as he's apt to do. I believe that's a flashbang to be thrown towards Banana once Ben and Jeonji call for it. As of right now, they're just trying to fight for control, though.
Just the map control. Gaimin Gladiators are well aware that Jeonji likes to rush B. They are very aware that he likes to push very aggressively. And the best way to counter that is the utility spam, is the flashbangs. He gets a nice little boost from Ben, though. If somebody peeks out, they're definitely going to be in for a world of hurt, and Jeonji might even be boosted on top. Yeah, he clears out sandbags. At least far sandbags. Doesn't have the close sandbags on the clear, but he spots out bwills and takes away half of his health. Clears out close sandbags now, but a rotation has been bought. This is the whole point of this play by Jeonji. Draw the rotation, which has come back, as the utility was thrown maybe a little bit prematurely, didn't exactly get to set the hook just yet. But the time is here. The time is gone. They have to hit the A site or they will run out of clock. Cynic around it marches, sprays down 2. They run through the smoke, and that's never going to end well. The bomb going to sprint back towards B, where Jeonji's trying to make something happen. But EG have kind of, again, big brained themselves on this T side. They've tried to overthink it a little too much. Sometimes simplicity is better. And they're going to run into a situation where they're going to run out of clock before that bomb can even go down, if they even get the chance to get site control. Time's in the red. It's all over. It's just getting kills now or dying before time at this point. Saving the op could be good for DJ and for PwnAlone. He's got to stay alive now. And he dies after time. That's brutal. 50 in the bank. That is... Well, that kind of torpedoes any chance of a force buy, at least for him in this round. He'll be a Glock, maybe just dry entry.
Yeah, he should have just forced the fight. With as soon as there was 8 seconds left on the clock, he should have just run out onto the bomb site and tried to force a fight so he didn't die after time. That was the worst case scenario for him in that situation. At least DJ has the op, and I think he's going to hang on for it for the time being. Not sure what EG is thinking of here, because they're going back and forth, maybe just trying to get some deagles off the ground. Good nade toss there. Didn't do as much damage as you would expect. This DJ's only down to 85, but he's peering around towards Banana, trying to fend off a potential push from the Gaimin Gladiators, which will not come through. GG. Just waiting, biding their time on the bomb sites proper.
GGVEG.
Yeah.
Well, DJ was hoping they'd push down middle, not with nades, but with bodies. Didn't get anything out of that. bwills tries to pull a Jeorge and spam the smoke down, but Banana doesn't get anything for that. DJ boosted up on top of logs, though. If they cross forward, definitely get a pick, but instead it's going to be a flower pots boost. Carson up on top. bwills with the smoke prepped. Both players towards CT spawn, but bwills can rotate around towards the side proper through Jeorge. A slow round, though, from EG, considering they're on pistols. It's going to mean that when they actually close the gap, yeah, they have an advantage, but there's going to be not really that much potential for an engagement long-term, long range. They got to hit their shot and move forward. Time down, 27 on the clock. Another well-timed Molotov from Gaimin Gladiators, burning down that clock with the flames. In comes the take, though. Both players again towards CT. bwills spraying through, pushing in, and he's done one and almost a second. Carson dropped, though. Bentley with a drive-by. Bomb falls forward, and that is unlucky. DJ gathers it up, but bwills goes on through. bwills runs out of ammunition, and DJ with the Glock has no time to get it down. Yep, just a millisecond too late on the clock, and the kills come in after time. I think Ben survived, but that's it.
Yeah, DJ didn't get any money, no loss bonus. Again, I mean, look, trying to get the bomb planted, I understand that situation a little bit more, and that's just kind of a rough go because now you lost a lot of potential money in this round. You have to fully invest. You can't keep having a broken economy. So DJ might get a drop from one of his teammates. Perhaps they're deciding what to do right now because Pwn could upgrade to the op, or he could drop an AK for DJ and get an AK himself and be perhaps a little later on utility. But it would ensure that there be rifles across the board. We'll have to wait and see. You could also drop a Galil and make it less expensive for himself and help that util a little bit more, but we'll see what they decide upon, and indeed will be some drops going around. PwnAlone is going to go for the rifle, and I mean, if you recall, he did main rifle, primary rifle at one point on this roster when I believe it was RCF was here. Yeah, that's quite a while ago now.
Days.
Yeah, but he's a pretty solid rifler, definitely. 147 on the clock as PwnAlone is going to toss a flashbang up towards mid. And they're going for that early fight. That's Jeorge, as you would expect, spamming away at the half wall. But he will be falling back now.
Lots of A control from EG trying to push their way
what a
in.
nade.
Lots of damage, though, from Cynic, Jeorge, and Viz. 41 and 51 HP, respectively. Still content on the A take. Smoke going out towards the library. Make sure nobody can get them from there. And a arch smoke comes in as well. Pretty telegraphed hit, but only actually 3 players here. It's definitely a good hold potential for Gaimin Gladiators. A good nade being used by Stanislav. He's going to hit the dirt. He's up on top of Cold Box, so he sprays down a pair. And he's looking for more damages. Does come in clutch as well. 3v2 in the favor of Gaimin Gladiators. A lot of time for EG, but not a lot of health. 55 HP combined, and Jeorge's on 4. No bomb plan either. They know Viz is somewhere, or rather, they know Jeorge is somewhere on the site. They're trying to double swing him. They're trying to make sure that at the very least they can get the trade, but look at the arch push, or the lane push, excuse me. Carson's got both. No bomb plant, and it's been now 6 rounds in a row for the Gaimin Gladiators. And EG's money has not been very good for the majority of their CT half. Their T half, it's been pretty disastrous. And Gaimin Gladiators are 1 round away from tying it up. They've had comebacks happen before. They had it against Team 1 and Map 1. They're ready. They're mentally ready.
6 rounds in a row for the Gaimin Gladiators. Not a single one won yet by EG in this second half. Gotta break that goose egg, and well, I'm not sure if it's going to happen here. They got 4 Tech 9s at Deagle. And they do have body armor as well, along with a good chunk of utility. But the thing is, a half buy, and EG probably just hoping to get a bomb plant off of this. Anything more would be gravy. Nade's going to come in there from GG. They're trying to get a dunk. Doesn't come through. Jeorge leading the charge. And EG, in that previous round, honestly looked like they would be able to do something, but I was surprised they didn't go for the bomb plan. It would have been fantastic for them and get that economy under their feet. It would have been a buy round here. Instead, they have to settle for a half. Here they come, charging into that B site. Jeorge, good smoke thrown, swings around the corner with the Tech 9, but Carson is good for only one. There we go. The pistols ring true here for EG. Jeorge and DJ get a couple. 4v3, some rifle upgrades, but there is a perfect nade toss coming through from bwills, which denies the bomb plant momentarily. Viz will get that planted to dirt eventually, you have to imagine. He was the one with the bomb in his hands last time, and he appears to be hesitant to plant it again. I mean, there are Gaimin Gladiators members lurking around in the shadows, but you eventually got to stick this to dirt, and there you go. Finally, he will get it planted as bwills gets tagged down to 10, and he is on notice.
DJ with that lurk kill had delayed the rotation of Jeorge for a long time. He's finally come back now. But Jeorge shuts down the first cross. Cynic's op needs to find somebody. Jeorge has a lot of work to do as well. Viz on top of the coffin. Will be putting one. Nice swing from DJ, though.
Good trade.
Great trade. And Cynic hopping around, misses the shot. Ooh, this is dangerous for DJ, but he hits the headshot he needed. Grabs the op for PwnAlone, drops the spray too. And EG will not let Gaimin Gladiators tie it up. That's their first round victory on this T side. And it comes on a half buy.
Yeah.
They've had so much success on the half buys throughout this game. Gaimin Gladiators will really only have themselves to blame if they lose it by losing so many rounds to the half buys. They've already made it close, but they have to win those.
Half buys, pistol rounds, ecos, everything. That's what's been haunting the Gaimin Gladiators, and that's why they don't have a lead right now. You're absolutely right, Austin. As EG will get the upgrades to 4 AKs in the op. Good thing for the Gaimin Gladiators, though, is because they had that round win streak, they got a decent bank account, and they were able to buy up 4 A1Ss, the op, and full utility. So they're not too fussed, at least in terms of the buy-up. Flashbang's going to come through here from Jeorge. Maybe another quick play for EG. One thing I liked about EG is they actually did keep it simple in that round. Executed towards the B site, good utility thrown, worked their way through a smoke, and got a couple of frags off of it. And afterwards, everything went exactly as they would have hoped. Jeorge lining up a Molotov here. He's going to toss that onto the site as EG are thinking about moving in towards A.
Sometimes the best policy is the acronym KISS, right? Keep it simple.
Yes.
It works. They hit it with enough time. They're able to hold even when things go a little shaky. Now they're going to start trying to hit A with about 45 on the clock, with Jeorge finishing off Jeorge could force them back to be wait. The rotation from Gaimin Gladiators is going back that direction, but EG are walking into it too. Stanislaw is reading them like a book. DJ's going to try and lurk again. But if he gets spotted, they know exactly what the play is. They did the exact same thing last round. Leave DJ lurking A. Everybody run into B. Cynic gets 1 and damage on the 2. DJ with 1 will lurk, though, but there's not enough time to run back towards A. They have to commit. I mean, A. Okay, yeah, they can get A now. They can get the plant. Yeah, they have the time.
You have to run.
Yeah, you have to go knife out here. Pwn, you can't. Oh my
Run.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
How does he live?
There's no way. There's no way he plants here. How is he allowed to plant?
That movement was fantastic. I got to give Pwn credit. I mean, he's been practicing his surf maps. There's no question, because he managed to get onto that bomb site. Now he's the last one alive, so some heroics will be required with the up. There's the first. Spots at the second in the library, but he just can't get away, and Carson will finish him off. But fantastic movement from Pwn just to stay alive and move on to that bomb site and get the plant. So at least the plant money comes through again here for EG, and they will have a proper buy-up in the next round because of it. But the scoreline has been narrowed significantly, right? We walked into this half 11-4 in favor of EG. Now it's only a 1-round lead, and GG are on the verge of tying things up.
They are very close, and if they're able to tie it up too, there's not going to be money for EG left over, so it's a lead for Gaimin Gladiators. That is what's on the line here too. Gaimin Gladiators have not let it all this game. They've trailed from start to finish. This is their opportunity to get into the lead. Unless, of course, they lose to the Pistols of EG, which we've seen that happen too many times to count. So, for Gaimin Gladiators, they've given themselves the opportunity to turn the tide in the dying embers when it really counts. It's almost golden goal territory. It's almost that overtime sudden death goal opportunity for them to get that lead and just steal away the map by hanging in long enough as the rounds mount. And grab that 16 just before EG get there. Not a pretty way to win a map, but it works. And all that matters at the end of the day is winning the BO3 and going to the final against ATK. That's all you have to do. Make it to the next round. It's another game. It's another series. Reset. Go forward.
EG. Speaking of resetting, deciding to move back towards T-spawn and into banana now. We're postured to get an A hit going, but DJ there, and he gets one, maybe the second, no, but that's still enough to attract attention of Gaimin Gladiators. Maybe no, they're reading this perfectly. They're rotating towards the B site. Carson spotted out some information, but they were rotating before that. Thing is, EG are going to take control with some good smoke thrown. Carson goes down to Viz, and now bwills trying to charge through. He does stop the bomb planter, but it costs him his life, and now Jeorge is left by his lonesome in a 1v3, and he can't even get through that smoke. Jeorge going to spray him down, and EG right back to their winning ways.
That's a great response from EG, finally finding gaps. So they've run the same basic play 3 rounds in a row. It has worked 2 out of 3 times. So it's being read. The problem is you can read it all you want. If you can't counter it, what good is the read? Gaimin Gladiators calling a timeout now, talking things over. Their money's not in a good spot, and they want to stymie the momentum that EG has built up. They don't want to let Evil Geniuses get on a roll again. Because 3 more rounds, it's EG's map, and they go to Mirage. And as you mentioned, the last 2 times that EG have played Gaimin Gladiators on Mirage, it's gone the way of the Geniuses. So, punish pick perhaps coming through there, and Gaimin Gladiators would try and make it our first 3-map series at that point, because we have not had a 3-map series throughout the course of this qualifier. Everything's been a 2-0 scoreline. So
that's very true, yeah. I mean, look, if you look at the Mirage stats, on paper, Gaimin Gladiators kind of go back and forth on the map. They play it a lot, or at least played it a lot. I don't know if it's going to continue to remain within their map pool as dominantly as it has in the past. It's 18 times played over the last 3 months, but I guess we'll get back to that because a lot of action happening here as Gaimin Gladiators going for a quick push down mid, and it immediately gets punished by Ben and Pwn. Ben taking care of the damage, and Pwn the killing blow from the AWP. Leaving only 3 members standing here for Gaimin Gladiators, and Jeorge on the verge of peeking around this corner. And, well, DJ spotted him out. DJ looking for that finishing blow, and both players swing. I like the idea, and actually Stanislaw is the first victim. Jeorge still alive and kicking here, peeking back and forth, continues to be a nuisance, but finally will go down, leaving only Carson to get 1, maybe pick up the AK. No, not enough time. Viz gets a 2K, adds some BM, and 14th round picked up by EG. But just to get back to those stats here, Austin, Gaimin Gladiators, even 500, 9-9 over the last 3 months, -1 round differential. And EG, I mean, they don't play it that much, 7 times over the last 3 months. But when they do play it, they typically win. 5 wins, 2 losses, plus 24 round differential. In fact, their best round differential in the entire map pool right now. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And of course, if EG walk into it with a map lead, that's even more promising.
Yeah, if EG can walk into Mirage with a map lead, you have to give them all the advantage. They've definitely fixed up a lot of issues that we saw glaring in the face last night. They've definitely tightened things up considerably. There have been those lapses, but they've made up for it at the very least, which is forgivable. So if you make a mistake, you make up for it, fix the problem. And they have. That's great trades out towards Banana too. Ben going in first. Jeorge getting the trade on the bwills. 4v3, a lot of space now available for Evil Geniuses to work with. And Gaimin Gladiators leaving Cynic very aggressive. Missed shot by PwnAlone. Jeorge swings. And Jeorge finishes almost a lineup there opportunity for Cynic, however. As PwnAlone tried to go for the drive-by with the sidearm. DJ lurking around towards A, waiting for a push. It's going to be a matter of timing. Does he check towards balcony at the proper time? That is all his life hinges on? No, but he's been spotted going forward onto the side. They know exactly what's going on, Gaimin Gladiators, but also they kind of have to save. Because if they lose these guns, they have absolutely nothing to play with. They converge on DJ's position, get the kill, but they can't really go for the retake. 2v3, no kits, no Molotovs, no HEs to clear out those hard positions, like New Box or Dark, or even something like a Molotov towards church coffins. So they got to save. And it's not going to be a pretty buy for them. It's going to have the saved guns and a little extra. That's it. And Jeorge's even on the hunt, and I really like this call. He's got enough money to buy in the next round. If they can take even 1 gun away from Gaimin Gladiators, it makes it so much easier in the following round.
I mean, they all have enough money, right? And it looks like Viz is hunting a little bit too. They're not going to get too aggressive because you never know what can happen. There could be 4 more rounds of play. So EG decide, okay, let's just hang on to what we got. And the Gaimin Gladiators will invest as much as possible here. Those two rifles. In fact, that isolated frag onto DJ was very valuable because they had a FAMAS and an A1S before that. Then they get upgraded to an AK and an A1S. Much, much better. As, well, they do have to settle for a couple of FAMASs here, the MP9, but they do have those two rifles as mentioned. Stanislaw going very aggressive, charging down mid. Is this going to be enough to catch EG off guard? He's looking in towards underpass. Just wanted to clear that out early, but I think because he's gained this ground, he's going to keep pushing. He tags Pwn down to 48, then flicks around to find Viz, but unfortunately for him, he can't finish the job onto Pwn, and that evens things out at a 4v4. Still job done and information gained here for the Gaimin Gladiators. What will they be able to do with it? We'll have to wait and see. It looks like a full-on rotate being called here by Stanislaw towards the A site, realizing that they're limited in terms of hardware, and a stack fares far better, even if the scoreline is very much, well, I mean, one-round victory, right? And EG takes it.
Yeah, but do EG read this? Because this is what Gaimin Gladiators have relied on these positions before. It's been a couple of times now they've gamble stacked the A site in a round where they have had lesser firepower and about an even or slightly disadvantageous situation. Because A is much harder to retake, they would rather go for the B site take, and EG have read it. They're going the other direction. They know exactly what Gaimin Gladiators are doing, bolstering the A site. I like this mid-aggression, and I like the play from DJ too. The fact that Jeorge wins that duel, however, makes it so impossible for really EG to have a very strong chance of winning the round, because Gaimin Gladiators now have the upgrades, they have the utility. Wait, they don't have a kit. They don't have a kit. The bomb goes down and ticks away long enough. There's enough utility to stall with those flashes and that smoke. They can burn down the time. One bad kill, it's the whole round.
It is indeed. Still, they have the man advantage. They're coming on in. 3 in a row here over at Construction, and they're actually going to get one onto PwnAlone, making it a 3v2. They do lose one in turn as that smoke's going to fly in, blocking off Bentley's vision. He comes out of it, but it's going to be everyone dropped here on the EG side, and a perfect retake by the Gaimin Gladiators. They all just flooded into Construction, and it worked out perfectly as they will pick up a 12th round, even though they required a 10-second defusal.
Deathball strat works out. They come out of it with an op for Cynic, a couple of AKs, and enough to buy a couple of FAMASs too, or drop some M4s over. We'll see how they want to play the money. But EG are able to buy up once again as well. Op back in the hands of PwnAlone. And if DJ gets one of those kills on that push towards middle, it's a different story.
Yep.
Gaimin Gladiators can't 4-man deathball in through Church. And because of it, it gives them so much more room to work with, so many more bodies to literally throw at the problem. And there's good aimers on this Gaimin Gladiators side. That's probably their best aspect, is their individual skill. So they use it. Whoa, PwnAlone being a bit of a whack-a-mole there with Cynic trying to take his head off. Cynic goes in towards Haykar, drops down though, and Jeorge might have heard that. I think he has actually. He's very aware, not peeking into that angle, and when he does cross, he puts the crosshair right on the Haykard headshot. Preps the smoke though, tosses it out for that balcony run. Setup for the Gaimin Gladiators. A lot of utility used towards the balcony though. That's 2 Molotovs. They have 2 left. And they're burning through those grenades with 1:08 to go. An arch smoke comes in, but the bomb is in an incommittal position. EJ's just probing. All of EG are just probing. They're not committing to anything. But that's a great fade away from Stan, spraying away to that smoke.
That's just lucky, honestly. I mean, he knows his lineups, but still, he was literally on the move, and he hits the headshot onto DJ, and that puts EG in a very tough spot. They have 45 seconds left. You need some time to work with when you're going for your executes, so I think the A side is the right call. Don't rotate off of it. Have some confidence in Jonji, and push on in from truck and apps. Jeorge going to toss a flashbang on forward. Utility running out for the Gaimin Gladiators, but they have saved a couple of incendiary grenades to delay EG, should they figure out where they're actually going to end up, and one of those would help here. Cynic's just going to use the op to take down Viz, though. Hitting the shots, then gets the second onto Ben, who's not even clearing him. Jonji gets a couple for himself, but he will get dropped as he's dropping. Trying to plant the bomb is PwnAlone. He's just faking it out. 8 seconds left. Now he's going to have to get the frags, and there's no way. It's done. It's over, and Jeorge adds salt to the wound with the headshot onto Pwn. And, oh, did they want to keep that op? They didn't get the op. They didn't grab it. It must have been a bit of a miscommunication there because it was left on the ground and they only have the rifles. As a result, they cannot afford the upgrade. We'll see if that makes a difference into this round because, of course, EG aren't going to be able to invest too much, right? Oh. Carson going to peek around here. John's down to 4. The nade could finish him off, but no, it actually gets Ben down to 7, or maybe it was the spray before that. Either way, EG kick off this round in a very poor way. Only 11 HP combined for Ben and Janji. Now they move on their full HP players, but Viz pulls off a hero play. Stan and Jeorge get dropped. He takes a lot of damage as a result, and now 3 players are so vulnerable to a nade, which Cynic does have in his hands. The question is, does he toss it forward into mid, which could be the catastrophe here for EG. Cynic, more concerned about having his op locked and loaded, ready to fire than he is about throwing the nade. But if he only knew how catastrophic it would be for EG here.
And we're back into overtime now as Gaimin Gladiators clawed their way back. 11-4 for EG, and now we're at 15-15 in overtime number 1. Gaimin Gladiators still on the CT side. 1st to 19 for all you guys joining us. Welcome, I am Boggs. JRT is with me, and J-Raz is observing throughout the night. Ben's going to take some early damage. Stanislaw towards Halls. Could be the first one to contact, and that's Jeorge to win the duel. Chimney Flash prepped and ready. Viz runs into Cynic. He has to know. Surely he has to know. And Cynic realizes it, hits the no scope, and gets the kill. 4v4. Jeorge spraying away, unable to get anything but a lot of damage. Yeah, it's something, but it's still a 4v3 in the favor of EG. Bomb not yet down, but PwnAlone getting prepped to punch in those digits. Nade onto Ben's position. Won't do any damage. PwnAlone behind the pillar now as the push is coming through. Ben's blinded and shut down by bwills. PwnAlone on site, though, standing tall, getting the kill. Carson gets the nade, and PwnAlone has the trade. All down to Carson now.
Wow.
But he had a 1v4 earlier. He's going through the smoke. He's spraying wildly, and that is his undoing. Just going in quite literally Rambo style. Gets punished for it. EG won that critical round on the T side.
Oh, there you go. EG coming back after losing 4 in a row, 4 opportunities. Closing it out. They win the first one in overtime. It goes like that so very often, right? When you need it to close out the map, you can't find it, but then you get to overtime and there's your groove restored, it seems. But Gaimin Gladiators will come right on back with the 4 A1Ss and the op. Carson getting ready to throw some util down towards Banana, and he's seeing a ton fly in his direction. Luckily for him, he's out of range. Now PwnAlone, seeing those nades fly through, knows exactly where to look, but as he realizes where that player is, he will hightail it back towards the bomb site. So, I mean, Carson's doing a great job making himself feel like he's more than one player here at this site. We'll see if it pans out for EG as DJ is waiting here, lurking in the shadows. Gaimin Gladiators have 4 players stacked up here on A, gambling that EG are going to head in this direction, but it looks like EG want nothing of it. They are not rotating this time, going right into the fight with Carson. Good flashbang thrown, but it's by Ben. So Carson, beneficiary of that. This will get dropped. Jeorge trying to find the trade. Carson just will not fall. Finally does, but now the reinforcements are poised to come on through and deny this plant. Great flashbang thrown, but it blinds both players in the end. Ben is the one that goes down, and Stanislaw will make it a 4v3 as this bomb gets planted by DJ.
Bomb sticking away, but it's a favorable retake for Gaimin Gladiators. A Molotov, double smokes, and an HE ready to go. No utility at all for Evil Geniuses, but that bomb is taking. The timer is running thin. DJ had a lineup opportunity, does a lot of damage, but that is far from a kill. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. AG had one of those hand grenades. All down to Jeorge, now sprays down both. 1v2 to try and stay alive. No. Jeorge will shut him down, 16 all. Next round will be the critical decider. If EG have a massive advantage going into the second half of overtime. Overtime number 1 will get its 1st to 19 here. We're all tied at 16. Of course, going to come forth for both sides, but that was winnable for Jeorge.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he made it winnable for himself by nailing the spray down onto 2 players that lined themselves up for him. But once he peeks around the corner a second time, he cannot find that frag. If he gets that 3rd one, then the round's won, because I don't think they'll have enough time to defuse. But not in the cards for EG, so we're tied up 16-16 into the last round of the first half of the first OT. Full-on buy-up coming through, as you would usually expect in overtime. Jeorge going to be down to 64, but Viz gets 2 openers. He just walks out, takes down Cynic and Jeorge. That will open up so much space in this A site, but they have to be careful to re-clear the apartments, because look where Stanislaw has slipped through. Could catch them off guard. That frag from bwills onto Viz helps even more, makes this viable. They're not even looking. Stanislaw gets the frag onto PwnAlone. Finally will go down to DJ, but he may have already done enough. bwills finds the trade. HP advantage lies in Gaimin Gladiators' hands, but it gets ripped away by DJ. AK bullets connect. They are true. Carson, last one standing in a 1v2, and he's going to get ticked down a little bit from the Molotov. The biggest problem there is the audio cue given away to EG, who off of it will be rotating to the B site. They leave Jeorge behind, and Carson, I think, realizing the rotation's coming through. Let's see if DJ can get the cover in time. No, is he going to double back? Oh my goodness. The double rotation coming through here from EG, and you still have Jeorge hot on Carson's tail.
Oh, this is such a good play here from EG, kind of playing with Carson. Low HP DJ takes the risk, runs back, and then hears the sound cue, or Jeorge heard the sound cue of Carson running around. He's not going to hear Carson running down Banana, though, but at the very least, he should figure out that he's not coming CT very soon. Yeah, he's going to start surely coming back to help out DJ, because it's not planted for him, which is a bit of a problem. DJ's definitely heard it now. Smoke goes in for Carson. He sprays away. Actually, never mind. It's planted in the open. This is a very good plant. Jeorge just has to hold the line. They have to wait for Carson to defuse it. DJ's popped from behind, and now Carson has to be wary of his backside. Jeorge swings around. Perfectly played. And Jeorge and DJ make Carson dance to the tune of their fiddle. That was so well done. They get 2 rounds on T side, going to a very strong CT side they had earlier. This is huge for EG going into the second half of overtime. It's almost setting themselves up for that Mirage with a 1-map lead.
Yeah, and their CT side was very strong, right? So you're right. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they can close it out here and make up for the mistakes in regulation that even got them to this point. Alrighty. Looking at that scoreboard, it's Jeorge and Pwn at the top. Jeorge with 31 frags. He's not always the frag leader. In fact, usually is more concerned with doing damage, but it's great to see him activated in such a big way after yesterday where he just was falling flat at every opportunity, especially in that second matchup against ATK. PwnAlone right behind him at 29, and on the other side, the Gaimin Gladiators, as they usually do, everyone is contributing here with each of them at 20 frags or more. DJ, along with Pwn, both stacked up together here into the apartments, but the Gaimin Gladiators looks like they want to gain that space into the B site.
That's a good Molotov though from Jeorge to keep the Gladiators at bay. Ready for that nade too. We'll see if it does some damage. Does a lot on the bwills. Chunks him down by 49 HP. Jeorge creeping up towards brackets though. And there's a nice double stack over towards Haycard for EG. But they're getting a bit antsy. They're running around a little bit more. PwnAlone backing out of apartments down. DJ dropping in towards Big Pit. Viz out towards Market Library side. Rotating in towards Arches, and that's where Gaimin Gladiators want to go. They're going to split towards B. I think they are, and this has been running to by DJ. He's shut down one, almost a second. PwnAlone gets taken down by Cynic, though. That poses a problem, as now it's an A-site take on the cards for the Gaimin Gladiators, and EG are thrown into chaos. DJ walks into the off of Cynic, and retake scenario is on for EG. Will they even attempt it, or will they just save? It's 12.5k overtime here. So they don't necessarily have a lot of cash to work with if they want to get ops every round, which of course they do. Oh, Cynic, he's hunting. Yeah, and EG don't want to go for it. They want to save, and Gaimin Gladiators have won a critical round on T side too. EG now have to win 2 to make sure they win it, but they have to win 1 to stay alive. Gaimin Gladiators have already put the pressure on EG early. It's a nice exit.
Jeorge gonna spray down. Sorry, go.
It's a nice exit.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna get a second one as well. Carson getting dropped. Of course, you know, with the money the way it is, you just have to worry about the op for the most part, and Jeorge goes down with the bomb. So, alrighty, Gaimin Gladiators tie things up at 17 here. Nice little execute pulled together onto the A site, and I mean, the op frag was very strong to open up all that space and isolate the A site completely. Alrighty. 2 rounds left in the second half of this first overtime, and, well, whichever team wins both of them, if one team wins both of them, it'll be over. If they split the difference, we're headed into the second overtime. Double op setup coming through here from EG. That is expensive to maintain. And now they're going to have the nades flying forward, and Jeorge through the smoke, connects on the bwills, does damage against Cynic. So much success for him towards Banana on that CT side in regulation that just carries over into overtime.
Carson trying to take that control. But it's a default out for Gaimin Gladiators, leaving Jeorge's lurk. And it's a double up in halls again from Pwn and DJ. Nobody crossing that direction. Carson and the bulk of the Gaimin Gladiators ready. Pressure towards B. Jeorge taking initiative, though, and he's going to catch Dennis on the bomb. Trade comes back, but it's still a man advantage for EG. They will take that fight every day. They will take that pick, and more importantly, the information that the bomb was over towards B. Viz is drawn over as a rotation to bolster the defense, not leave Ben alone with the op. but Gaimin Gladiators are still split. 2/3 of the roster over towards B, throwing the utility in. But they're also running out of utility, too. It's a bit of a problem for the Gaimin Gladiators, and that's going to pose even bigger of a problem as Ben puts down the next one. Takes down Cynic. The smoke goes out, but PwnAlone with the finisher onto Jeorge leaves Carson in a 1v4. He had one earlier, John, but this time they don't seem too content to peek into him, do they? They're playing this one a lot more conservatively. And even though Carson stuck around, he actually is going to get the drop onto Ben. Viz will probably not push solo. He's going to creep forward into Church, wait for the rotations to come through. He does not want to give Carson the 1v1, v1v1. He wants to make sure the team is there, and Carson's going to try and take these fights. Sitting on coffins, might push into Church. Might be a bad idea. Flash comes in. There's the trade. That is how you do it. That was perfect from DJ.
Oh boy, it was scary for a moment though. It's exactly how Carson snuck into the bomb site in the first half of action, and this time EG, as you mentioned, did not give him a 1v1 4 times. They double peaked it and took care of business. Alrighty, 18-17 in favor of EG. They have another map point here, their 5th. Will they finally close it out, or can the Gaimin Gladiators force a second overtime? Here we go.
Here we go. This is what, map point number 4 for EG at this point?
Number 5. It was at 15-11.
Thank you. So, map point number 5. And, well, they've let 4 slip through their fingers. 5th, definitely avoidable, or wanted to be avoidable. Jeorge takes so much damage with the fire, though. He's down to 1 shot. He's going to fall away. That's some decent nade damage back. That nade, will it connect onto Jeorge? No, it connects into PwnAlone instead. Knocks him down a little bit. But EG are still playing this decently aggressive towards Banana, but now they're going to rotate and bolster A. They're going to leave PwnAlone solo. He tries to shoot the nade out of the air. Didn't exactly work out for him. And Gaimin Gladiators burning down the clock again. Not really sure where they want to go, and I don't quite blame them. T-side was a struggle.
Yeah, it really was. And now they're going to take their time going through towards Banana, methodically clearing out every angle, and B was where they found success, so can't blame him for going for it. And in fact, PwnAlone's isolated. They're going to charge in. He hits the shot. That's important because he gives time for the reinforcements to come through. The thing is, Gaimin Gladiators are going to take the site and his life. Cynic gets the no-scope onto Ben through the smoke. 4v3 for the Gaimin Gladiators. They need to find these last 3 frags just to stay in the overtime and push it to double OT. All 3 players, the 3 of the 4 stacked up here towards construction. Carson drops Jeorge, gets the second onto Viz, and bwills finds DJ. We are bound for double OT.
Double OT indeed. And it seems like this is the Inferno that will never... Oh, wait, that's just every Inferno.
And every overpass.
Overpass, it's not always overtime.
Look.
Inferno's the overtime map.
Overpass
they could just rename it.
Recently has been the site of many overtimes. The longest one in North America in Maine, right? The other day.
Yeah, that
in
was
ESA Maine.
4 rounds or something like that?
Something like that. It was in the 80s. Crazy match. But yes, Inferno, of course. Very much a similar story, and the one that started I think the one that's more typically known for it. You're right. Alrighty, let's go into OT number 2 here, and EG will remain on the CT side here. Molotov going to get tossed in. DJ with the HE, tosses it on forward, and Gaimin Gladiators want to go for another quick hit. They already isolated Pwn, but Pwn is good for the frag. Peeks around again, but Stanislaw will take him down to even out the numbers at 4v4. Flashes are good. EG have to turn away from them, and Stanislaw sneaks in to get another frag to his name. DJ manages to get 1 response and a second, but will go down to Stan again. He's got all 3 frags, opening up the bomb site by himself. Now it's up to Jeorge and Ben to do the damage, and Stan spotted out Ben. Takes it down to 15, finally dropped here as flashes and utility continue to rain on forward. Carson slips into the smoke, and he manages to take down Jeorge, almost blind. 1v1, Ben, is he going to go down to the nade? No, he was far enough away from it with 15 HP. He's trying to smoke off the bomb and fake the defusal. It doesn't matter. Carson clutches it out, shakes his head, says, I don't think so. I got this. 19th round secured for the Gaimin Gladiators.
19th round and a lead now for the Gaimin Gladiators. And if I'm not mistaken, this is their first lead of this map. It's taken them 27 rounds to get a lead.
Yeah, you're right. Because they didn't have a lead in the first overtime.
37, sorry. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been the entire map. And now EG calling a tactical timeout. They want to make sure they don't let Gaimin Gladiators get 2. Because repeating that feat of getting 2 rounds on the T side is not going to be easy for EG. It's not something they want to be forced into. You want to get 2 on your T side to, at the very least, only need 1 on... or on CT side, excuse me, to get only need 1 on T. Makes your life a lot easier in overtime. If you can win 3 on CT side, well, you should be golden. But neither team has been able to do that. Gaimin Gladiators, though, really starting to find the holes. It's the fast-paced plays, isolating where PwnAlone has gone. And it's a bit lucky, I think, that they ran into PwnAlone 2 times in a row. But it's working. You get him 1 for 1, spur onto the site, swarm him through, and just get the advantage. And PwnAlone's going in towards Harvard's now, maybe even going for a mid-peak. This is a dangerous isolated position yet again that he's putting himself into. He's caught again through the fire. He's not dead. He's 6 HP, but he's not dead. He should be good for 1 if he's able to hit the shot quickly enough, but he just keeps having to reposition on the site. He's having no luck right now, getting harassed entirely by Gaimin Gladiators, but EG have rotated everybody over towards the A site, and Jeorge is going to get a free pick onto Carson. Backs away safely, and Ben's been so passively over towards B. He's just throwing a bit of utility and waiting for them. Cynic's been good on this angle, though, and DJ thinks better of the peak. He retreats to mini pit with 1:05 on the clock. Gaimin Gladiators down a man, but definitely not out of this round.
No, still a potential opening for them. EG are holding fast here at the A site. 3 players now instead of 4 as the reinforcements have gone towards that B site in the form of Jeorge. It was Ben by his lonesome, using a lot of utility to push Gaimin Gladiators away from that position. But now it's up to the A site defenders to take care of business, because that appears to be the final destination for the Gaimin Gladiators. Here comes the smoke. 2 guys off pit, so DJ's in the blind trying to spam on through, and that isolates PwnAlone. Well played by Jeorge, who gets the headshot. bwills follows it up on Viz. Now DJ does get 1 to make it a 3v3, and HP-wise, EG have the edge. 171 for Gaimin Gladiators. I don't care about the math. Jeorge is going to get the shot onto DJ. Jeorge finds the trade on Jeorge, back and forth here, and the Gaimin Gladiators have a potential edge in the post play.
Love how bwills is just buying all this time, being a nuisance. Cynic now finally strikes. bwills swings around. The trade potential's there, and Ben can't do anything. 20-18 with 22 necessary to win. Gaimin Gladiators doing the work they need to. They're giving themselves the opportunity to win on their map pick now. And EG are starting to slip. They haven't exactly dealt well with adversity. Their match against ATK last night goes to show that. They struggled when the going got tough. And here now the Gaimin Gladiators are so close, EG are struggling to be able to find footing. This is also limited onto an MP9. That is not a good sign here. The op is there for PwnAlone at the very least, but it hasn't been a menace like you want it to be. He's going to peek down towards Banana, peek around the smoke, burn down to half HP, and get nothing for his troubles. Nades going forward, does so much on the PwnAlone, takes Ben down a little bit as well. Gaimin Gladiators in the full control of this round of this map now. They are looking like they're primed and ready to take this map in OT2, not letting it to OT3. Certainly not let EG take this one. DJ doing damage, but not a kill. And that's not enough. Viz on site could get some work done, but no. Carson clears him out well. And surely a 5-man hold on the A site is going to be it. It's going to be 21-18, and EG have to clean sweep, reverse sweep it out on T side to get back in. Ben going down just makes it so much more dire. Gaimin Gladiators are turning up.
And it just feels like all those opportunities that EG let slip away is now coming back to haunt them. Cynic's going to take down PwnAlone, only Jeorge left, and will manage to get nothing. Cynic flicks around for the no-scope, why not, and a headshot to boot. 21-18, Gaimin Gladiators now have 3 opportunities to close this one out, and they go over to the side where they pulled off an incredible run just to push this to OT. Things are looking rosy for them now.
Things are looking real good. And it's not rose-colored glasses. It's just raw facts. They have everything. 3 map points, CT side, momentum, confidence. 3 players at 30 kills. They're sitting pretty. They're sitting nicely. And Stanislaus had a really good read on the EG attack as well.
Yes.
So it's definitely looking like a very good spot to be in if you're Gaimin Gladiators.
I mean,
This
not only
is-
that, but yeah,
Go ahead.
Stanislaus took matters into his own hands, right? With the 3K in that previous half, just unbelievable work clearing out every player that he crossed paths with.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Stanislaus has been very consistent throughout this game for Gaimin Gladiators. He has not been a weak point at all. He's been very solid. He's been consistent. He had a couple of clutches earlier as well in the game. So for Gaimin Gladiators, the stars are starting to align. For Evil Geniuses, things are crumbling. Your foundation is cracking, and they have not been able to weather the storm. If they're unable to take this map, there's kind of a loss going into a map that's not bad for Gaimin Gladiators at all in Mirage. It could make that Mirage pick be a bit of a question. That's a bit more for theory and future crafting, but of course they can still pull this back to OT3. They just got to win 3 in a row. Much easier said than done. And Jeorge going to burn down almost to a little bitty crisp. He's at 15 HP. And a nade would take him out, but a lot of utility's already been expended towards B from the Gaimin Gladiators. And they've left Carson they've left B site all alone?
I mean, look, I can't really fault them, right? They've made some really good reads on EG in terms of rotations. And Stan, again, is saying, look, it's going to come to the A site, guys. Rotate back. And bwills does manage to drop DJ. Unfortunately, that means that EG will likely go to B. And here comes the rotation back. They won't be able to get visibility. The smoke is going to block things off. The spam is good, though, for 2! You've got to be kidding me! Everything going the Gaimin Gladiators' way. And bwills gets another onto Pwn! EG only have Ben lead left, and he will get 1, but that is it. Gaimin Gladiators in the second overtime secure it and get a 22-18 victory. That one stings in such a big way, especially the way they lost that last round. Just 3 frags blind through the smoke.
And the bomb on top of it all. If they don't lose the bomb, maybe there's a chance.
Yeah.
But that's brutal. That is a brutal way to lose. That